Right. So, good evening. Today we are starting the preparation lesson 3. Now, I guess you were able to complete the paper today, right? Paper එක කරගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඇති කියලා මම හිතනවා. Now, Mr. Ni, how was the paper? Were you able to complete this? Was it easy or hard?
I completed but sir, I left some of the questions, but I did the majority of the paper, like 90% I completed.
Yeah, good. Right, you did the 9% of the paper, right? Now, then how about beginning? The other. And what a okay. Right. Now, what we will do is, right, what we will do today, we'll start discussing as usual, right? We'll start doing as usual, and maybe if others are coming, they will eventually join. Now, starting with question number 1, right? So, we'll quickly jump into the question, starting with question number 1. A customer appoints, right? Sorry, a customer books an appointment at a premium salon for a haircut. The service is provided and consumed simultaneously. The customer must be present during the process. Which of the characteristics of a service does this scenario best describe? What is this scenario it is describing? What is this about? The customer has to be there when he is consuming the service. Again, what does it talk about? What does this talk about? This is about the again, the customer should be there and supplier, like the producer is also should be there to provide this service. AI මේ දෙන්නම ඉන්නේ. ඒ දෙන්නම හිටියොත් විතරයි අපිට මොනවද? Service එක දෙන්න. So that means if at least one person is not there, you can't do the service, right? Customer නැත්තම් කොණ්ඩේ කපන්නත් බෑ. Barber හිටියේ නැත්තම් ඒත් කොණ්ඩේ කපන්න බෑ. So that means it is talking about the inseparability, right? It is talking about the inseparability. Right? It is talking about the inseparability of the service. Okay, so that is the answer here. Number 2, the evolution of business has transitioned through multiple distinct eras. The period characterized by the widespread use of computers, the internet, and the data-driven decisions making to create wealth is recognized as the right. Okay, we are giving the answer 4. It is yes, the information here, right? We are talking about the information here, the amount of information, right? Or sometimes knowledge error කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්, right? The knowledge error කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්, or else the information error is also correct. And then knowledge error, information error, yeah, those are the names that we are using, right? Apart from Thailand, Timba, Wala level එකේ නෙමෙයි පොඩ්ඩක් higher studies වලට Wala level එකක් තියෙනවා මට okay, it's okay. Now we'll go for the next one, third. A public limited company ensures that annual financial statements are audited by an independent external auditor before publishing them. Which specific stakeholder group and the primary target of this ethical corporate social responsibility practice? Who is the stakeholder group? What is the stakeholder group where this what do you call it? Preparing financial statements and auditing them falls to whom? Financial statements के लिए auditing करना it is for the shareholders, right? Shareholders are the one who is more into financial statements and all, right? They are the one who are into financial statements and all. So they check whether this is audited by a person or right? Whether this is audited or those things are checked by stakeholders. So then that would be the answer number 5. again stakeholder shareholder shareholder බලනවා ඒ financial statements හරියට prepare කරලාද කොහොමද කියලා. එතකොට තමයි ඒක socially responsible business එකක් වෙන්නේ. Then question 4, I guess this is clear, right? This part is clear. If you are not clear, right, let me know. I'll re-explain with the stuff, or else I'll moving on forward. Now, question number 4. The government collects various types of taxes. The government collects various types of taxes to fund public expenditure. Which of the following is an example of a direct tax paid by business or individual? So under this, which comes number 2, right? Yeah, it is a corporate tax. So corporate tax is a direct tax, right? Corporate tax is a direct. Apart from that, value added, excise duty, NBT, customs, all those are indirect taxes, right? Those things can be passed to another person, right? Those things can be passed to another person, but corporate taxes has to be paid from the income of the business. 5. A local shoe manufacturer wishes to export product to Europe. The buyer demands certification that guarantees the factory provides a safe working environment, prohibits child labor, and protects basic human rights. Which certification should the manufacturer offer? What is certification that you have to go for? To ensure that there is safe work environment, there is no child labor, and we are protecting human rights. Which of the certification will ensure this? Yes, the HACCP. What is HACCP full form? Right? Hazard analysis. HACCP, right? Hazard. No, I can't remember that word. Right? HACCP, so I'm just used to that. Food right? HACCP, right? HACCP is not only for the food, right? HACCP is not only for the food. It ensures, right? It ensures the entire work environment is safe, right? We produce work environment is completely safe. We are not going to what you call. Sorry. Not HACCP, right? Sorry. The answer is HACCP. SA8000, right? SA8000 is this one. SA8000 is social, right? Sustainable, right? Sustainable actions, right? Sustainable actions are social actions. Answer. Wait, the correct word is SA8000. Sorry. For this question, the answer is SA8000. Yeah. SA8000 like we are socially responsible business, right? I forgot this. SA8000 is a business which ensures that your business is socially responsible. HACCP is regarding this hazards, right? Hazards HACCP. The hazards biological hazards, chemical hazards, and physical hazards are free, right? HACCP ensures that your business is biologically, physically, and chemically hazards free. HACCP. And when it comes to SA8000 says your business is socially responsible, right? Yeah, your business is socially responsible, and that is explained by SA8000. And 9001, 14001 SLS is some others, right? So 9001 is for, if I'm not wrong, it is for quality assurance. 14001 is for food safety management, right? Sorry, 18,001 is for that. 9,001 is for environmental management, and 14,001 is for food safety management, if I'm not wrong, or 10,000. Right. I'm kind of at a stress these days. We'll check those numbers, right? As this pilot people, co-pilot, right? So if you go with ISO 14001, that goes with yeah, environmental management තමයි 14,000 right? Environment management is 14,001. ISO 22,000 is for food safety management, right? Yeah, food safety management is ISO 22,001, and then SA 8,000, SA 8,000, right? SA 8,000 is regarding sustainable practices, social accountability, right? Or social accountability. SA 8,000 is social accountability. So child labor, so those are the things that is included in that part, right? So we have to go through that properly. And HACCP, right? HACCP is where you talk about the hazards, physical hazards, biological hazards, and chemical hazards. Everything free HACCP. Those are the answers for that. And the next one, number 6, right? Number 6. That is key principle of cooperative society is member economic participation. How is this principle practically applied when distributing the society's annual surplus? So there is member economic participation. Again, when there is a profit for the cooperative society, if there is a profit or if there is surplus for the cooperative society, how is this distributed? How distributed? It is distributed among members. It is distributed among members with the people who has the highest number of transactions. Who made the highest number of transactions, we are redistributing to them. Profits in the right? Sales they are redistribute cooperative society. So then thereby here the answer will be answer number 3. Yes, because the answer is answer number 3. 7. A group of professionals wishes to start an educational institute focused entirely on providing free vocational training to rural youth with no intention of distributing profits to the founders. The most appropriate business organization structure for this purpose is what? Here it is focusing on, right? Here it is focusing on providing vocational training to the youth. And from this institute, if there is any profits, the founders will not be taking the profits, right? Founders are making profit. This falls under company limited by guarantee, right? This is a limited by guarantee company. This is a name. Limited by guarantee companies non-profit review. Take slit. Right? Slit slit के प्रश्न किया मैं गया और उद्यम माता कहती गया और प्रश्न गया और के प्रश्न किया slit के slit का मैं limited by guarantee company या कणन मणन किया प्रश्न किया है कार्ड दायित्व ने आना कहते हैं the thing is if you start a limited by guarantee company, it is not owned by anyone. ඒක මේ පුද්ගලයා අයිති කියලා එකක් නෑ. මේක ඇයිලා පොදුවේ හැමෝටම ගියයි. right? ඒ management එකෙන් direct board එකෙන් හැමෝටම අයිති. But ඒකේ profit, right? If there is any profit from this particular organization, it doesn't go to anyone's pocket. කාගෙත් සාක්කුවට මේකේ profits යන්නේ නෑ. They will get a salary. The people who work, the shareholders who work, they will get a salary. But what do you call? You will not take profits home. Profits. So that is we take limited by guarantee companies. So is it clear? Public corporation, public limited company, general partnership, private limited companies, those are profit oriented and those type. But If there is any profit, it is not distributed among anyone. That falls under company limited by guarantee. एक guarantee company का clear नहीं है. Guarantee company के किए ना, right? Even guarantee companies, the shareholders are liable only to the amount that you have agreed in the articles of association, right? Articles of association के mention कर दी ना, we are liable only after this. So the liability is also limited, right? So that is what you call a limited guarantee company. Number 8. A successful local furniture manufacturer decides to purchase the timber mill that supplies its raw wood. This strategic business combination is specified as, what does it fall under? A furniture manufacturer and a timber mill. Furniture manufacturer and a timber mill combined. This falls under it's a vertical one. It's a vertical. The furniture manufacturer is there, and then there is the timber supply. So timber supply comes before the furniture manufacturer. So thereby, this is vertical backward integration. Right? This is a vertical backward integration. Clear and nothing. If you are not clear, let me know. I'll explain the combination parts. 9. An entrepreneur closely observes shifting consumer habits and realizes that there is a high demand for sugar-free organic drinks. A product currently missing the local market. Which entrepreneurial skill is being demonstrated here? An entrepreneur is closely observing the shifting consumer habits. මෙයා දකිනවා market එක දකින්නකොටම right market එක බලනකොටම මෙයා දකිනවා the consumers are consumer habits based කරගෙන එයා දකිනවා there is a high demand for sugar free items. Okay, so that means he is identifying the problem, he is identifying the market. So it comes under environmental scanning. Yes, correct, it falls under environmental scanning. 10. When preparing a business plan, the entrepreneur must outline the business target market, pricing strategies, and promotional methods. Which specific section of the business plan contains this information? Executive summary, operational plan, marketing plan, financial plan, human resource plan. So it is simple. Whether marketing can target market can right? Since we are pricing strategies, promotional methods can we have to go with answer number 3. The marketing plan, right? Falls under the marketing plan, not the financial, right? We are talking about the marketing plan. Who is our target market? What is the pricing strategy that we are going to go? How are we going to promote this business, right? It falls under the marketing plan. 11. A medium-scale manufacturer sells goods on credit to several retailers. To solve a temporary cash flow shortage, the manufacturer sells its trade debtors to specialized finance institute at a discount to get immediate cash. This financing method is known as. We are selling our debtors, right? We are selling our debtors to a finance company, and that part is what you call it factoring, right? This is what you call as factoring, right? What we are doing is factoring. Debt factoring is right? We also call it as debt factoring. And then 12, that is Can you answer these questions? Uttar matakada. Galgilla yakina ikarat danna. Uttar denna. Okay. The financial market is divided based on the maturity period of the instruments traded. Which of the following is exclusively traded in the capital markets? This is grade 13 වලට අදාළයි but grade 13 වලට අදාළ but grade 12 එකෙත් මම ඒක වැටලා තියෙනවා. But here this is something that we already know. Grade 7 unit 7 එකේ මේක discuss කරනවා. Can you tell me now Sahrudeen, we even did this on the last class yesterday අපි කරන්නේ capital markets වලට යන්නේ මොකක්ද? තොපි දෙන්න හිටියා මම මෙතන බාන තොපි දෙන්නවා. යකෝ මේ බලපියෝ. Capital market. Capital market කිව්වම short term ද long term ද? Capital market is long term. එතකොට මොකක්ද? It has to be corporate debentures. මේ ඊයේ කියලා දුන්නේ. Not treasury bills. Treasury bill is short term. Commercial paper short term. Certificate of deposit short term. Treasury bond නෑනේ මෙතන. This is treasury bills. Treasury bill is short term. Treasury bond is long term. Here the answer is then corporate debentures. Here the answer is corporate debentures. Bill and bond මාරු කරගන්න එපා. Bill and bond මාරු කරගන්න එපා. ඒක පැටලෙයි. අපරාධ ලකුණු 30. A business owner receives a check crossed with word account pay only. What is the strict legal implication for this specific crossing? If it is account pay only, can you encash this? How about the legal thing regarding this? How about the legal implication? If it is account pay only. Can the check be cashed over the counter? No, right? After this check here, over the counter cash karagana there, right? There's a crossing. So since there is account paying only word, this check has to be deposited only to the bank account of the person whose name is on the check. Check එකේ නම තියෙන එක්කෙනාගේ account එකට විතරයි අපිට cash මේ deposit කරන්න පුළුවන්. Because account pay only, right? It is account pay only. So it has to be deposited only to the person who has the name on the check. 14. Which specific type of financial institution acts as the intermediary exclusively authorized to purchase government securities directly from the central bank? Again, yesterday we did this. දැන් මේ yesterday කරද්දී ඇයි මේ grade 12 paper එකේ අහන්න කියලා අහන්න එපා. මේ ඇවිල්ලා මම කිව්වා ඊයේ unit 7 එකේ discuss කරා කියලා. So ඒක තමයි මේ unit 7 එකට අදාළ questions තියෙන්නේ. Who is the person who can buy treasury bills and bonds? The primary dealers. Good. The primary dealers. Amal insures its warehouse worth 5 million with company X for 300,000 per year. With company Y for 2 million. The fire cost extract 1 million damages. Under the principle of contribution, how should the compensation be settled? How should the compensation settle? Calculate can make. I'll come. Now, Amal insures his warehouse worth 5 million in company X for 3 million and company Y for 2 million. if the fire causes exactly 1 million, under principle of contribution, how should the compensation be settled? So now it is insured for a ratio of 3:1, right? Sorry, 3:2. Right? 3:2 ratio in insurance करती. So out of 3 million, out of 1 million, 600,000 has to be settled by company X, right? 600,000 has to be settled by company X. 400,000 has to be settled by company Y. So answer will be third one. 3:2 ratio to right? If you divide this 1 million for 3:2 ratio, 600,000 has to be settled by X, 400,000 has to be settled by Y. That is the reason. Our supermarket manager discovers that the head cashier has been systematically embezzling daily cash collections over the past 6 months. Which specific insurance policy would protect the supermarket against his financial loss caused by employee dishonesty? Yes, this is not employer, this is not public, this is not cash in transit, this is not product liability, this is falling under fidelity guarantee insurance. What is an insurance company? Like when an insurance company accepts the massive risk, like insuring a fleet of commercial airplanes and transfers that portion of risk to another insurance company to avoid bankruptcy in case of a total loss. This practice is called insurance companies accepting the risk and then they are reinsuring this, right? They are reinsuring. Reinsurance. එතකොට මෙතන ආන්සර් එක මොකද්ද? කපාරවම කියනකොටම එළියට වැන්න. That is reinsurance, right? What does the insurance company do? I am insuring a fleet of planes in company X. Company X reinsures this at company A. So that is what we call as reinsuring. මම එකපාරක් insurance කරපු එක insurance company තව තැනක ආයෙ insurance කරනවා. That is what we call as reinsurance. Then there is 18. During the board meeting, the marketing manager struggles to concentrate on a presentation because they are highly anxious about upcoming personal medical tests. The communication in the communication process is represent what? The marketing manager is struggling to concentrate. Right? Why the marketing manager is struggling to concentrate? What is the reason? Because he is having a psychological, right? He is having a psychological barrier, right? Yeah, we don't right? He is in a separate thought, right? Yeah, we don't make focus for the barrier. So then, answer is number 2, psychological barrier. 19. A large manufacturing company sets up a secure web portal that allows its authorized raw material supplies login, check factory inventory levels, and check deliveries. This network is called as now what happens is තමයි මේකට මේක දාන්න පුළුවන් තමයි මේකට sometimes දාන්න පුළුවන් මේක intranet එකක් නේ කියලා. Right? There is a separate website, supply is logging in, right? Supply is logging in, there is a separate website, so you can check the inventory levels and all. එහෙනම් මේක intranet එකක් කියලා ළමයි හිතන්න පුළුවන්. No, this is not an intranet. Why? Intranet is given to the internal parties of the organization, right? Intranet is given to the internal parties of the organization. But here, it is for the supplier. Supplier කෙනෙක් කියන්නේ external party එක. So here the external party can access the website. So thereby it is called as an external. This is called as an external. It is not coming under intranet. Clear? 20. When transporting millions of liters of crude oil from port terminal directly to national refinery located 100 kilometers inland, the most effective and continuous mode of transportation is. Now, if you are transporting crude oil, right? If you are transporting crude oil from one place to another, most effective way is to go for pipeline transport. Right? We have to go with pipeline transport. Pipeline transport කියන්නේ වෙන ලොකු දෙයක් නෙමෙයි. ඔය pipes දාලා fold වගේ දේවල් transport කරමයි pipeline transport එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ. Now when it comes to Sri Lanka, we don't have this pipeline transport much. නැත්තේ නෑ තියෙනවා. Right? We do have pipeline transport. මම හිතන්නේ නෑ මේක ගොඩාක් තියෙනවා. But when it comes to other countries, right? When it comes to other countries, gas වගේ දේවල්, coal වගේ දේවල් ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මේ pipeline transport එක use කරනවා. Okay. और browsers වල ගිහිල්ලා නැමෙන්නේ fill කරන්නේ. Okay. And moving on next. 21. A warehouse manager decides to utilize the vertical space in the facility by installing an intermediary flow between main flow and the seat, accessible by stairs to store lighter goods. This storage method is called as what? You are coming up with a separate balcony. You are coming up with a separate flow over a existing flow. What is this? Whenever flow එකක් කරනවා. What that flow again? It is a mezzanine. It is a mezzanine. Existing flow එකක් ASCII තව flow එකක් ගන්නවා. Right? Existing flow එකේ තව flow එකක් ගන්නවා නම් it is called as a mezzanine. Number 22. In the international trade process, the importer applies for their bank to issue a document that guarantees the payment to the exporter. What is the document that ensures the payment? That is the agreement. What is the document that ensures payment? Right. What is the? By the way, just let me know. Is the mic too loud today? Like, is there noise apart from my voice? මගේ voice එක clear නෑ මම කතා කරනකොට වඩා වෙන අවුලක් නෑ නේ. Okay. Now here the Zoom icon, it shows me the mic is completely constantly working even though I'm not talking. So I just thought, man, what if it in air later කට්ටිය උඩ කැල්ලිනා so මම යාළුවා ගත්තිත් දන්නේ නැහැ. Okay. This fine, no problem. Fine. Yeah. So here the document which ensures the payment is the letter of credit. 23. Wholesalers perform multiple functions that assist both manufacturers and retailers. When a wholesaler buys goods in massive quantities and repacks them into small manageable quantities for the retailers, this specific function, that means he is buying in the large quantity, right? The wholesaler is buying in large quantities, he is repacking in small quantities. That is the meaning for the breaking bulk. Right? Breaking bulk again, මෙතන කියන්නේ Breaking bulk means is simply what is it is large quantities of goods are now broken into smaller quantities. That is what you call breaking bulk. 24. The South Asian Free Trade Area, SAFTA, is an agreement designed to promote economic cooperation. Which of the following countries is not a member of the SAF or the SAFTA? SAF के कितने थे, SAFTA के कितने थे कौन? All days Bhutan, Afghanistan, Myanmar, Nepal. So this one is in your grade, unit 11 unit 11 you know. So here the country is Myanmar. Right? Myanmar is not there in the SAFTA or SAF, right? SAF के कई SAFTA के लेके कौन है? So that the answer is number 4. 25. A local software company creates an accounting software package and sells the license on the line directly to the small businesses. The retail shops across the country. The transaction that falls under which specific e-commerce model? Mm, 22. No, here what they are asking is this one, right? In the international trade, importer applies to the bank to issue a document that guarantees the payment, right? Again, importer is applying the bank, right? Importer applies to the bank to issue a document that guarantees the payment to the export. Importer put a document is a letter of credit. So this is not talking. We are not talking about the bill of lading, right? We are talking about the payment thing. So in order to get the payment, you need to send the letter of credit. LC customer. So they are the answers. So like, method of focus करिए में shipping document है क्या नहीं? If you keep shipping document, yeah, bill of lading is fine. But here the document is regarding the payment. Like what is the document that we issue to get the pay? 25. A local software company creates an accounting software package and sells the license online directly to other small businesses and the retail shops across the country. The transaction flows under which specific e-commerce model? E-commerce model it falls under 4. B2B, yes, business to business. The software company is selling another software, right? The software company is selling a software to another business. That is called B2B, right? B2B market. Okay, we are done with the MCQ. We'll quickly go to the in the blanks now. A bond arises with what power? Purchasing power is known as what? Is known as bond arises purchasing power is known as demand or effective demand. Right? Effective demand is the best suitable. Demand is okay, demand is fine, no problem. But more than demand is the most suitable. And effective demand is the most suitable. The belief, values, attributes, norms, and behavioral patterns that are shared among everyone in us and which will be handed over to the future generation is Visual generation එකට දෙන්නේ මොකද්ද? Values, beliefs, norms and business behavior patterns. It is what we call as the organizational culture, right? It is called as the organizational culture. Okay, it is called as the organizational culture. An institution established by a specific act of parliament, fully funded and owned by the government, and processing a specific, processing a separate legal personality is called a business established under Special Parliament Act. Special Parliament Act එකක් යටතේ පටන් ගත්ත කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? It is fully funded and controlled by the government as well. These public corporations, right? These public corporations, like public corporations are the ones which are fully funded and owned by the government, which is there, and there is a legal personality as well for the company. So that is public corporation. The two main settlement systems. Gini උත්තර දීලා two specific settlement systems මොන කියන්නේ? What are two settlement systems then? When we did this yesterday. Settlement systems කියලා කියන්නේ financial infrastructure. Two specific financial infrastructure according to the RTGS. Sorry, according to the two settlement systems according to the Lanka settlement. Okay, the answer would be RTGS and SSBS, right? Okay. 28. Financial markets are broadly divided into blank market, which deals with short-term funds, and the blank market is deals with long-term funds. Once again, short-term funds නම් මොකක්ද ඒක? Money market, and the long-term funds නම් financial market. අඩෝ ගෙල්ලේ. Money market and capital market. Oops, තමයි. තමයි පස්සේ. Sorry. Money market and capital market. Tapalay. Come on. Right. A specialized financial institution that evaluates and assigns the formal grade to creditworthiness and the financial stability of companies issuing debt instrument is what agency? අපි ඒකත් discuss කරා ඊයේ. What is the agency that is what do you call creditworthiness එක? මෙයාලා මේ බැංකුව හොඳයිද මේ ඉන්ස්ට්‍රුමන්ට් එක හොඳයිද කියලා කියන්නේ කවුද? ඔය grades එහෙම දෙනවා කිව්වේ. A grades, B grades වගේ grades දෙනවා කිව්වේ කවුද? What is the organization? My examples උත් දුන්නා ඊයේ. This credit rating agencies. Credit rating agencies. Credit rating agencies are there to assure or to measure the creditworthiness, to evaluate the creditworthiness of the financial organization or a financial instrument. Okay, credit rating agencies. The insurance principle of plan states that an insured person cannot claim total compensation from multiple sources that exceeds the actual financial loss suffered. What is the insurance principle that stops this? No. That is indemnity, not indemnity, contribution. Multiple insurers, like if there are multiple insurers, contribution is the one that mentions, okay, if there are multiple insurers, you will get only the loss. एक है हम confirm करने contribution की principle, not indemnity. Indemnity will, you will get the loss amount, right? Indemnity will ensure that you will get the amount that you have lost. Contribution will ensure out of the 4 to 5 insurance companies that you have insured, you will get only the relevant percentage, right? You will only get according to ratio what contribution. An interference, distortion, or disturbance that reduces the accuracy and the effectiveness of a message during the communication process is generally referred to as a disturbance that reduces the accuracy. I mean, අපි මෙහෙම කතා කරනකොට මගේ සිග්නල් නැති වෙනවා. ඔයාලගේ සිග්නල් නැති වෙනවා. මගේ data ඉවර වෙනවා. charge බහිනවා. Something happens. This will become a what? This will become a problem. This will become a barrier. And this will become a barrier to our effective communication. Right? It will become a barrier to our effective communication. The logistic activity involved in the safekeeping arrangement and the preservation of goods from the time of production until they are required to consumption is known as safekeeping the goods, preserving the goods. Yes, good. It is called as warehouse. Right? It is warehouse. ඉහිනේ මොකද උත්තර ගිලිනවද? උගුරේ කෙරලා දීති උත්තර එලිඩෙන්ස් සීන් නැද්ද තියෙන්නේ? නැත්නම් නින්ද ගිහින්ද? The removal of trade barriers such as tariffs and quotas to allow the unrestricted flow of goods and services between countries is known as removing trade barriers. If we have removed trade barriers, yes, it is, we call it as free trade. It is what we call as free trade. Good. State for government institutions relating to consumer protection. For institution, there is Consumer Affairs Authority, okay. Central Environmental Authority. Ministry of Health, yes. District Secretariat Office, right? Okay. So So those are 4 government institutions that are there. And apart from this, you can also write measurement and standards, organizations, then SLS, right? Even what are the other 4 needs Abraham Maslow, right? Needs of Abraham Maslow's apart from physiological needs. Apart from physiological needs, what are the other things that we have? Safety, esteem, belongings, and physiology, right? Safety needs, esteem needs, social needs, and physiological needs. Sorry, but then apart from physiological and apart from physiological, yeah, you can go with safe needs, social needs, esteem needs, and what you call self-actualization. Those are the, apart from physiological needs. Yeah, they are asking apart from physiological. State 4 methods the business can use to enter into international market. How can businesses enter into international market? One is by engaging in import-export business, right? One is through import exports business, right? One is by doing import-export business. Apart from import and export, what are the other things that they can go for franchising. Huh? They can go for franchising. මේටිගේ බින්චුන් එහෙම මාර ලොකු විදියට ෆ්‍රැන්චයිස් යනවා රයිට් බින්චුන් කියලා හැමතැනම බින්චුන් ගහනවා දැන්. What else? What are the other ways how you can enter into international market? Trade agreements. Then one more. Import, export, franchising, trade agreements, and then import, export කරනවා, franchising ගන්න පුළුවන්, trade agreement එකට යන්න පුළුවන්. තමනාට යන්න පුළුවන්. Next you can importing, exporting, trade agreements. You can go for trade zones. Trade zones. Trade exhibitions. You can go for trade exhibitions as well. Right? Importing, exporting, franchising, trade agreements, and by trade exhibitions, you are capable of entering into international markets. State 4 agency functions of central bank. Central bank agency functions can ban. Okay. Managing EPF. Management of state loans. Huh? Then foreign exchange management. Yes. One more. Agency function. Acting as the back of the bank. Or no? Acting as the back of the bank. Or no? Acting as the back of the bank. That also comes. Huh? Working as a primary distribution. Okay. Foreign exchange is fine. Managing public debt. Yeah, okay. Managing public debt, managing EPF, foreign exchange management. Yeah. So those things you can take here under agency functions of the CBS. 35. Name for parties involved in a letter of credit used in international trade. Letter of credit involved in a parties what are the four parties that is involved in letter of credit? Letter of credit involved in a party. Very simple. Importer, exporter, importers bank, exporters bank. Importer, exporter, importers bank, exporters bank. Those are the four parties that is involved when it comes to international trade when related to letter of credit. Okay. Any questions in 35? Up to question number 35, any questions? I guess no, right? Ini mana ada tinggal Anda? Ini ah, like tinggal kelas yang buat no tahu sama, right? Nah. Okay, so we have to go for the next one, right? We have to go for the part two, right? We have to go for the part two, but we'll take 5 to 10 minutes. We'll take 5 to 10 minutes. We have done the MCQ. We'll take 5 to 10 minutes. And we'll start again. Right? We'll start again somewhere around. It's 8:13 now. It's going to be a long night. Right? Can't tell, right? I'm kind of tired, too tired today. Right? It's a very hectic day. I started the day at 9 o'clock. Right? So I'm kind of tired. If screen in there. So that's why I'm biting something so I can just uh, refrain from sleep. Right? So we'll take around 10 minutes break. We'll not 10, 5-6 minutes gamu. We'll come back at 8:20, 8:25. Don't leave, just have the break. So I guess you guys are still here. So shall we start the questions? At least did you try the part 2 paper? Part 2 का try करा नहीं पहला try करा ना right try the paper ගම කා ගන්න එපා මාස් 3ක් තියෙන්නේ මාස් 3 ඇතුළත වැඩේ කරගන්න. So that's what I can do. I'm trying to give my best from my side. It's your thing to do it from your right by yourself, right? Again, that's the level of hammer support time over you know. So what your mindset is all about. Right. So starting with the question, number 1. Sri Lanka Weaves Limited is a highly successful garment manufacturing business operating in a free trade zone. They heavily invest their internal environment providing free medical insurance and transportation for all factory workers. However, to keep production cost low and maintain their profit margin, it was recently revealed that they source their raw materials from an overseas supply known for using child labor. Several local human rights groups are now prepared to boycott their products. So, the case right? The entire case is there. Define what is business. Should I define? No, you know what business is. Check the definition. Business is a economic activity that has to be there. Economic activity which provides goods and services in order to satisfy human needs and wants with or without a profit motive. Business is economic activity which produces goods and services to satisfy human needs and wants with or without profit motive. All those 4 words has to be there. All those 4 keywords has to be there in order to call it a good full definition, right? Here full definition in based on the scenario, number 2, identify the primary objective of Lanka Weaves Limited and state 1 secondary objective that they are fulfilling. Now tell me what is the primary objective that they are fulfilling? What is the primary objective? Banana. See here. They are keeping the production cost low and they are trying to maintain profit margins. Right? They are trying to keep their cost lower and they are trying to increase their profit or maintain their profits. So that means the main objective of this business is profit maximization, right? The main objective is profit maximization. Then how about the secondary one? How about the secondary objective? What is the secondary objective that you have? One secondary objective you make. Right? They are heavily investing in the internal environment by providing free medical insurance and transportation for all factory workers. Right? Again, they are providing medical insurance and all. Well, employee welfare is not the main objective of the business, right? Employee welfare is not a main objective. It is a secondary objective. Maintaining profits, increasing profits, that is their main. And providing employee welfare is a secondary objective, right? Providing employee welfare is secondary objective. So you can write here providing secondary, sorry, providing again employee welfare. Providing employee welfare, that is a secondary objective of this particular business. Primary profit maximization, secondary employee welfare. Okay. I think after that you are fine. Right after that, I guess you are fine. If you have any questions, please ask. But moving on to the second one. State two main components or forces that make up the internal environment of a business. Okay. What are the what do you call components of the forces that are in the internal environment? Internal environment take out the organization, culture, structure, management, right? Resources, all the managers, employees, culture, structure, right? Resources, all these things fall under internal environment components. Okay, they got clear, right? Okay, they got clear that is two main components. You can write the organizational culture, the manager, the owner, right? Okay, they got clear, I think it's very simple. ඔයාගේ simple questions අහලා තමයි පොඩ්ඩක් දොබෙන් යන questions ටිකක් set වෙන්නේ ආ. හරි. State two main differences between direct production and indirect production. What is the difference between direct production and indirect production? මතකද එහෙම එකක්? direct කියන්නේ මොකක්ද indirect කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? So if there's a question telling state the differences and all, table right? If you go for a table, that is good. Paragraph liver tawlak nahi, right? Sentence case liver tawlak nahi, right? Direct, and then there is indirect. So direct production, indirect production, why do you produce goods? In direct production, you produce goods for the final consumption, for the personal use, right? In direct production, you are producing goods for personal use. Producing goods for personal use. That is one reason. Indirect product case. In indirect production, you are producing it for exchange, right? You are producing it to exchange with another person. Producing for the purpose of trade or exchange. You are producing it for the purpose of trade or exchange. Okay. So that is for what? For the indirect. Direct product आएगा क्यों मैं? Direct product आएगा क्यों मैं? Or as yeah. Is there anything? You can write an example, right? You can give an example for this as well. For direct production, you can give an example. Mother stitching own child's clothes. Mother stitching own child clothes. That is an example for direct. And the answer is wrong. And then another one you can go with for indirect is stitching clothes for the market, right? විකුණන්න බලාගෙන ඔයාලා stitch කරනවා නම් that is indirect. ගෙදර ඉන්න පොඩි එකාට අම්මා ඇඳුමක් මහත් දෙනවා නම් that is direct, right? So those are the difference between direct production and indirect production. So you can copy down this answer if your answer is wrong. Anyway, once තියාගත්ත කමක් නෑ answers මම බයිට් නෑ ලියුවා කියලා. right answers තියාගත්ත එක මම බයිට් එක ගහන්නේ නෑ. So copy down කරගන්න. By the way, where is Marina? අදත් පුදිද?
එයාට කම්මැලි හිතෙන්න ඇති සර්න්ඩ්.
අර කම්මැලි දෙන්නත් නේ. පාර කම්මැලි නෑනේ.
ගොඩක් නෑ.
මට මූණ මැවිලා පේනවද? මූණ මැවිලා පේනවා මේ එන උජාරුවෙක් ඉන්නවා. නේ අනේ. මොඩල් පැප් එක කරාද?
MCQ ටිකයි ෆිල්ම් බැංකුයි කරා.
ඉතින් බින්ද දැන් කරා. අනිත් පාර්ට් එක කරන්නමද?
ඒ පාර්ට් එක අමාරුයි සර්.
Very good. Romana. Right. We'll go with the other one. Like we'll go to the next question. Identify the specific ethical violations connected to Lanka Waves Limited supply chain and state which stakeholder group is initiating the buyout. So, what is the ethical violation? Right? What is the ethical violation that they have? The ethical violation is they are using child labor. Right? The ethical violation is usage of child labor. Another violation. So, who is the shareholder group which is initiating the boycott? How may boycott the Karangin? It is the community, right? The community is the one, community or the pressure groups, right? Community or the pressure groups are the ones who is coming up with the boycott. Okay, never Janda. First, you have to mention the violation. The violation is child labor. Who is the stakeholder? Stakeholder who is coming up with this boycott is pressure groups. Pressure groups and the what do you call community. Right? Pressure groups and the community are the ones who is coming up with this boycott. මෙයාලගෙන් බඩු ගන්න එපා මෙයාලා boycott කරන්න කියලා රැල්ලක් ගේන්නේ යා. Because of what? Because of the usage of child labor. Right? Child labor use කරන නිසා අන්න pressure groups වලින් case එකක් අදිනවා. Explain two benefits Lanka Waves Limited gains by providing medical insurance and transport to their employees. This medical insurance and transport, what are those for the employees? What are those? Those are motivating factors. Right? Those are motivating factors. Right? If you give these incentives to these employees, what happens? If you give incentives, what happens? It will improve productivity. Yeah, more than
Goodwill of the business.
In here,
It will improve the goodwill of the business.
it will improve the goodwill. Yes, good. It will improve the it will improve the goodwill of the buy side. Okay, good. Okay. Now, yeah, it will improve the goodwill of the business. It will improve the productivity of the business. Yes, and since there is good medical insurance and transport facilities, there will be less employee absenteeism as well. Employees absent වෙන එකත් අඩු වෙන්නේ. ඇයි මොකද transportation තියෙනවා මිනිස්සුන්ට යන්න එන්න පුළුවන්. Because of those reasons now it's better, right? It's good to have what do you call transportation and all. So it will reduce the absenteeism as well. Labor absenteeism, improve productivity, improve the goodwill of the business. Those things are possible. Right? Those are possible answers. අන්න තියෙනවා ලියන්න එක. Right? අපි මේකට ලියමු. The question says, the technological environment is rapidly changing the manufacturing sector. Explain explain two ways advancement in the technology could positively impact the government manufacturing. Now, what you have to do is you have to mention two facts, and those two facts has to be explained. The facts they got mentioned karla explain karna. How does the technological environment, how does the development in technology, advancement in technology is benefiting a garment factory. Garment factory and garment manufacturing and benefit that mention karana. So tell me two advantages of having technological advancements. Technological advancements garment factory එකට මොකක්ද තියෙන වාසිය කියන්නේ බලන්න. දැන් මම technological advancements දෙයක් කියනවා. Right? Two technological advancements that you can use in a garment factory. First you have to mention those two. ඊට පස්සේ ඒකෙන් මොනවද තියෙන benefits කියලා තමයි කියන්නේ. First tell me two advancements. Technological advancement මොනවද? What did you write? What did you write? What are advancements? Any advancement, like for example, we can take like this shelter. Now, for a garment factory, if you are using a website or something, if you use a website for a garment factory, okay. By using a website, now you are able to access a large market. You can easily sell goods and all, right, through a website. That is the advantage that we have. So we will write answers, huh? Answers can na ito para liya rehta. Integration of integration of website to reach global markets. Integration of a website to reach global markets. So then by this you can write, you have to explain this integration of website for a global market. Explain current corner. We'll explain something like this. Utilizing digital marketing and B2B platforms, it allows the factories to easily secure bulk orders directly from other major companies, which are available locally and internationally. Locally වෙන්න පුළුවන්, internationally වෙන්න පුළුවන් තියෙන companies වලට අපිට පුළුවන් නේද? B2B market එකක් B2B marketing වලින් අපිට පුළුවන් නේද? හොඳ orders tika araga, right? We can take good orders, we can take, we can supply raw materials and all for these businesses when we have a good solid website. So that is one. अगर make online करला, मैं sentence का लिया था, make online करला लिया था. It was appear second point, right? Another option, another thing that you can do. Now, when it comes to garments and all, when it comes to garment factories, where and तुम design करने का team नहीं है, right? and तुम fashion design करने का team नहीं. Fashion design करने का team use करना software, right? You call it the computer aided designing, right? CAD, right? AutoCAD बाकी use करना अपना ना. अलग design का अंदर बदल. अलग design का draw करला बदलना. तो जाए design का होंडा के अंदर के बदलना के देवल ते आला. AutoCAD बाकी software use कर. So by using that software now, see, we can check whether does it actually look good or not, right? Hadarna kan product එක හදන්න කල අපිට බලන්න පුළුවන් මේ product එක හොඳද නැද්ද, right? Using AutoCAD. So we can write that one as well. ලියාගමු. Using CAD software. CAD software. Yeah, mentioned there. Using various softwares to automate the production and using various software to automate the production and conduct operational activities in the organization. So those are right. So those are some points that you can write for this particular question. और क्या नाम बोला? Technological advancement होता है इधर right? Technological advancement था ना? Right? Technological advancement क्यों माँ? आप इधर website tag use करना पड़ेगा. आप इधर AutoCAD का software use करना पड़ेगा. ये ओपन है यहाँ. You can use others as well, right? CNC, right? CAD. और आगे ऐसे सेट टैप दी ना, right? को आगे यूज करना पड़ेगा. मुनार सॉफ्टवेयर में मुनार technological advancement क्यों आप, right? You can use any technology that we have already discussed, but when you are writing answers, you are write like this, right? Writing answers, you have to mention the point, right? लेकिन आप पॉइंट के इधर दी जैसा आप पॉइंट का मेंशन कर ला, 2 पॉइंट्स मेंशन कर ला, ये 2 पॉइंट्स का डाल लो, एक्सप्लेनेशन देगा दे, राइट? 2 पॉइंट्स का डाल एक्सप्लेनेशन देगा दे. तो ओके ताऊ ना लिया ना बोला हमें एग्जांपल लगा था, राइट? विल राइट एग्जांपल फॉर दिस. Fashion designers are using design software tools to fashion design. Fashion designers using design software tools to create new outfits, to create new outfits. Now fashion designers are using design software. Now Adobe or Adobe no sorry Adobe AutoCAD वगैरह software हम use करना काटती है. तो लेकिन वो देंगे, right? Those are technology advanced. What you do is you just show them 2 points. Okay, I know these 2 points. The points they are done ना, मांगे points they explain करना done. Explain करना विचार करने में explain कर लेकर example ले अपना देना वापस बैठी दर. So you are telling that you are perfectly all right with the lesson, right? what you have to show is Mama සියල්ල දත්. ඔබ මොකුත් දන්නේ නැහැ මෝඩයා. හැබැයි exam එකට ලියන කියන්නේ වා පෙන්නන්නේ මෙහෙම. examiner ඔබ හරි මෝඩයා. හරි. ඔබ දන්නේ නැති වුණාට මම දන්නවා මේ මේක තමයි point එක මේක තමයි explanation එක. මේක තමයි point එක මේක තමයි explanation. මේ තියෙන්නේ ඒවට examples. ඒ පෙන්නන එකෙන් කරන්නේ අපි ඔක්කොම දන්නවා. right? වෙන තරක් නෙමෙයි. example උත් දන්නවා. practical scenario එකක් දන්නවා. ඔක්කොම දන්නවා කියලා තමයි පෙන්නන්නේ. ඒ දන්නා කියලා වෙන්නම තමයි exam එකට ලියන්නේ. මේ ලියනකොට හරියට tip top එකට ලියන්න. So whenever examples are required, you have to mention the examples and show them as well. Right, copy down this. If you are done, we can move on to the next. Oh, sorry. Remember after the writing එකක් කියන්න පුළුවන්. Right? We can write something below as well, right? We have written 2 points. We have written 2 points and we have explained the first point and second point with an example. And we can write the overall impact, right? We can write the overall impact. We can say, tell them. So by using these advanced technologies with the businesses, we can improve the quality, the efficiency, and the overall productivity of the organization. Normally, you are very well, right? So you write this answer. Become a 4 marks right? Become a 4 marks easy piece, right? 4 marks are easy. Game mark money. You need to copy down these things, the balance in the bar. आपके पास माल काटने ने पाओ दिया करेंगे. So I'll move on to the next part, right? Number 5. Sustainable development balances 3 pillars. Briefly explain what is meant by the economic pillar of sustainable development. Sustainable development of pillars what are the 3 pillars? One is economic sustainability, social sustainability, and environmental sustainability. Right? Those are the 3 sustainable pillars when it comes to sustainability. Right? Those are 3 sustainable pillars. So here the question is asking what is meant by, right? What is meant by economic pillar, right? What is meant by economic sustainability? Now, economic sustainability kila kiyanne මොකක්ද? What is economic sustainability? Any idea?
Improvement of the human welfare and eradicating poverty.
Okay. So you are improving the welfare of the people and you are eradicating poverty. Okay. Now how do you eradicate poverty as a business?
Offering products at a lower price for everyone.
Nah. Even to buy of products, people need to have something. Even to buy products, people need to have money. How do they get money? By jobs, right? As a business, we should be capable, like we should be able to provide job opportunities to the economy. Then thereby we will be able to what do you call? So contribute to the economic sustainability, right? Economic sustainability will contribute karana. As a business, we should give job opportunities. Then only people will get income. Then only people will be able to afford goods and services. Got it? So we'll write here, yes, your answer is correct. The beginning is correct, right? What do you say was improving welfare by eradicating poverty. Okay, we'll take it. Economic sustainability means about eradicating poverty and ensuring employee welfare. Employee, we'll take human. Human welfare. And we'll tell how it is done as well, right? We'll tell how this is done as well. As a business, we should be able to provide employment opportunities and assure fair income distribution to maintain economic sustainability in the economy. To have economic sustainability, you need to make sure that you are providing job opportunities, you are assuring, right? And then assuring fair income distribution. Sustainable development, economic sustainable development, ensure. Okay. Just because you are eradicating poverty, just because you are telling we are focusing on the employee welfare, I have to mention how as well, right? Job opportunities, then fair income distribution, assure, right? For those things you can write. And then there is the B. Business must maintain fair competition. State to unethical practices the business might conduct against its competitors. Right now, business must maintain fair competition. There has to be a fair competition, but there can be unethical practices as well. Right. So, what are the unethical practices that competitors might do? Unethical practices. Take false advertising, right? Businesses doing false advertising, that is falling under a, right? Businesses engaging false advertising, it's falling under unethical business practice. False advertisements. Then providing low quality goods, providing low quality goods to the consumers or misleading consumers. Those things fall under what? Unethical business practices. Or overcharging, right? Overcharging of goods and services, those are falling under unethical business practices, right? Providing cheap goods falls under unethical business practices. So those are some examples. Okay. Dekak kita mention karam on the door method, yeah. Dekak kita mention karam on the door method. Give me a second, I'll come back. right? Nadi and then sakas like that. Right. Then with that, we will move on to the second question of the day. The second question is, now we have already 4 questions, right? We'll quickly go to the second question as well. Ceylon Spices Public Limited is a large company that exports cinnamon and pepper. To encourage the export activities, the government recently granted them a massive tax holiday, though through the Board of Investments. Looking to expand their control over the supply chain, Ceylon Spices has decided to completely buy out Ruhunu Farms, the primary agricultural estate that supplies them with raw cinnamon. On the story of right? A good case study is happening here, right? There is public limited company that export cinnamon and pepper to improve their exports. There is incentives given by the government. There's a tax holiday, right? And to control, like to make their supply chain stronger, Ceylon Spices purchasing. They are buying out Ruhunu Farms, right? Ruhunu Farms is Sahrudeen ගන්නවා. එහෙම එකක් කියලා. To question. Define a public limited company. What is a public limited company? What does the public limited company do? What they do? They මොකක්ද මේ public limited company කියන්නේ? The companies that are the public limited companies are organizations which have a limited liability and has the ability to issue shares to the general public. Make sure to tell about the limited liability. Make sure to tell about the issuing shares to the general public, right? Where share issue करने का limited liability का mention करना, right? So it is a company which is capable of issuing shares to the general public, and they are limited in liability. Okay, plus one more thing. They are also incorporated under the Company Act number 7 of 2007. So I'll give a good answer here. I'll give a good answer. Businesses which are incorporated under the Company Act number 7 of 2007, where the liability is limited and they are capable of issuing shares to the general public in order to raise capital. So, full answer clear, right? So then it is complete. Right? Refer to companies which can share general public. The weight is not enough. They are telling it is incorporated under the Company Act number 7 of 2007, where the liability is limited and they are capable of issuing shares to the general public to raise capital. And I think nothing. Answer hill full complete answer का लखनऊ का अपन इतिहास में यार ඕන ඔක තව ඇඩ් කරන්න පුළුවන් මේ මොන ස්ටොක් මාකට් එකේ ලිස්ට් වෙන්න පුළුවන් කියලා ඇඩ් කරන්න පුළුවන් but that part is not needed. If you can write, that is good, no issue, but that part is not required. Now, based on the scenario, the specific type of business combination occurring between Ceylon spices and Bruno farms is what? Ceylon spices එකයි Bruno farms එකයි එකට join වෙන එක මොන වගේ combination එකක්ද? Huh? What type of combination is that? It's not B2B. Combination types thing now. Combination types. Certainly, I think you have to go through unit 4. Now, you have to go through unit 4 to understand these combination types. Business combinations to the vertical combination, horizontal combination, conglomerate combinations, right? Vertical forward, vertical backward, right? Those combinations you have to understand. You are right? So yeah, I think you didn't understand it. Eke antimada thing, right? Eke part 2 eke dogen thing antimada thama thiyena combinations part. So here what happens is this Ceylon spices is purchasing their supply, right? Ceylon spices are supply and purchase Bruno farms and purchase car. So at that case, this is a vertical backward combination, right? It falls under vertical backward, right? Vertical backward combination. Okay. So that's enough. And just what is the combination type? I can just mention what is the combination type. That's all. And then we'll go for the next one. Apart from taxes, state other government roles that plays in the business environment. What does the government do? What are the other roles? Apart from the tax collector, what are the other roles? Okay, imposing minimum and maximum prices. Yeah. Here the government. Here the question that they ask is, apart from being a tax collector, what does the government act as? Right? Government acting as government is imposing rules and regulations. Yes. Okay. Government is acting as a tax collector. You know, government is providing infrastructure facilities. Right? They are providing infrastructure. Provides infrastructure, the regulate business activities, right? And then implement rules and regulations, and then act as competitors, right? Those are some of the other things that the government can do when it comes to business environment, right? Business environment government there are more to write, but right? But the government is providing infrastructure facilities, they are engaging in regulating the business activities, they are implementing rules and regulations, right? They are acting as competitors in the market. Those are some other activities that is done by the government. Okay. The roles are on the government roles. Third lesson, right? That is from the unit 3. The roles of the government. Then B, second question will be state two main functions of the board of investments in Sri Lanka. Right? What does the board of investments do? Right? Board of investments, they do many things. Right? We'll just mention certain functions that they do. Right? Apart from the thing that I have The board of investments, they are responsible in attracting foreign direct investments, right? They are responsible in attracting foreign direct investment. FDI කියන්නේ foreign direct investments. They are able to attract foreign direct investments. That is one. Then what else? What else does the BOI do? Yeah. Apart from this, the foreign direct board of directors, they are also giving tax holidays. In the story in the story itself, you had this. They granted tax holidays through the BOI. Providing tax holidays for the BOI. Providing tax holidays for certain business. So those are two functions, two main functions that is conducted by. Right, those are two main functions conducted by BOI, right? Board of Directors, Board of Investments, Board of Investments, right? Okay. Then the Masaran Patlane on our right. And do you have any questions so far? Were you able to answer? Did you copy down any answers that you have not written? Or do you want me to go back and show the answers again? So far, so good. Okay. Third question. When incorporating a company, essential legal documents are required. Distinguish between the memorandum of association and the articles of association. MOA, memorandum of association nekai, articles of association nekai, differentiate karanna right? So we'll go into that memorandum of association and articles of association, right? We'll go like this. We'll take a note. Memorandum of association. Memorandum of association. And the next one is AOA, articles of association. Okay. Memorandum of association and articles of association. Now, memorandum of association, it defines the external relationships, the names and objectives, and the capital structure. Again, we'll take company A and company B, right? Company A and company B, they will just come for understanding, right? Everybody agreement tag, right? Company and company B, they get partnered to start some, right? Now, body mass agreement tag, project tag, right? Mass project tag, companies there, so that is where you need a memorandum of association, right? That is where you need a memorandum of association, where you build external relationship with other companies, right? Then right? Right? So like, agreement tag and agreement memorandum of association. What you mentioned there is these things. It defines the external relationship. Right? It defines the external relationship with other party. අනිත් පාටිස්ලත් එක තියෙන external relationship එක මොකක්ද? Right? කොච්චර කාලයකටද කින්නමන්ද ඔය වගේ දේවල් explain කරනවා. What is the reason for this? Right? ඇයි මෙහෙම අපි memorandum of association එකක් ගහලා මේ තව company එකක් එක්ක join වෙන්නේ? Right? The answer is loading. Wait, I'll check and let you know. Right. I'll cross check your answers. What are you then? Memorandum of association. Okay, the memorandum of association declares that the name of the company is different to the name of the existing company, whereas the articles of association includes the company objective, rights, obligations of the shareholders, and information on management and information of the company. And apart from that, articles of association is fine. Articles of association is mentioning about the internal factors. Articles of association is mentioning about the internal factors, who are the shareholders, what are the rights and obligations of shareholders. That part is correct. What you have mentioned about the memorandum of association is not correct, right? Memorandum of association declares that the name of the company is different to the name of the existing company. The articles of articles of association part is okay. You have to change the what you call memorandum of association, right? You have to go with the memorandum of we have to change the memorandum of association and those things for an right?
එතකොට සර් මම memorandum of association ගැන දීලා තියෙන මේ definition එක එන්නේ මොන එකටද? මම දැන් අර මේ unit 5 tut එක complete කරගෙන ගමන් ගියේ. ඒකේ සර් ගේ අර fill කරලා තිබ්බේ නැති නිසා මම මේ study මොකද teachers guide එකෙන් බැලුවා. මට හරියට හම්බුන්නේ නැහැ. මම ඉතින් මේ memorandum of association කියලා ඒකට දැම්මේ ඒකයි. ඒක මොකද දන්නේ නැහැ නේ එතකොට. සගේ ටියුට් එකේ තියෙන එක.
Okay. Now, memorandum of association that the name of the company is different to the name of the existing company. Yeah, the article of association. Now, ඔය ඔතන තියෙනවා ලියලා තියෙන්නේ declare the name of the company is different to the name of an existing company කියන එක එනවා in the stock market, right? That part comes in the stock market where the company is after they get listed. එයාලා ලිස්ට් කරාට පස්සේ අපි කියමු ලිස්ට් කරනකොට තියෙන්නේ සුවසහන ප්‍රයිවට් ලිමිටඩ් කියලා කියන්නේ right සුවසහන ප්‍රයිවට් ලිමිටඩ් කියලා තිබ්බ කම්පැනි එකක් after they get listed in the stock market it has to be changed, the name of the company has to be changed into සුවසහන public limited, right එතකොට issue කරනවා announcement එකක් right එතකොට issue කරනවා announcement එකක් ඒකට තමයි අර සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඔය name එක වෙනස් කියලා පෙන්නන right so from today onwards right from today onwards this Sri company is no more private limited, right the public limited company කියලා අපි එළියට පෙන්නන්නේ ඉන්නේ right ඒක තමයි ඔයා මෙතන memorandum of association කියන එක ලියලා තියෙන්නේ अभी memorandum of association पता करने इतना लोगों ने देखे but wait give me a sec I'll just clarify this memorandum of association and the uh, articles of association. Articles is right, articles of association is fine. It talks about the internal rights and obligations of the shareholders, this and that whatnot. It is completely right. The memorandum is the person open the this one PG. Oh, good. According to hey. Articles of association दिनवा articles of association दिनवा articles of association articles of association articles this okay. Now in your syllabus, the terminology for memorandum of association is so yeah, right? आगे PG again, the memorandum of association given wording का कोई बात नहीं, but there is a document called memorandum of association when it comes to businesses, right? We'll do another check. Right, right. Okay, as I said earlier, right, said earlier, this memorandum of association is about the link between the external party, right? External parties that link make it here. Again, articles of association says about, right? Articles of association says about what does the internal stakeholders, right? What are the internal stakeholders, right? And those stuff, right? යාලගේ rules මොනවාද? යාලගේ objectives මොනවාද? ඒ වගේ දේවල් තමයි මේ internal parties ලගේ ඒවා තමයි මේ articles of association එකෙන් කියන්නේ. Memorandum of association එකෙන් පෙන්නන්නේ the relationship between the outside world, right? Now, like investors, like අනිත් companies තියෙන්නේ. Audit companies, the public maybe, there can be suppliers and other people, right? Other partnership with other businesses. ඒ වගේ දේවල් තමයි මේ memorandum of association එකේ පෙන්නන්නේ, right? Both the documents are very important for the business, right? Both the documents are very important for the business. Yeah. It's not the one that you have mentioned, right? It is not the one that you have mentioned there, right? නමක් ගැන මෙන්ෂන් කරලා තියෙන්නේ නම ගැන මෙන්ෂන් කරපු එක නෙමෙයි memorandum of association කියලා කියන්නේ. Like, where did you get this explanation?
No, sir, I saw it from your Unit 5 tute. I don't have the notes now, so I thought to fill them. And when I was doing the paper, then I referred to the teacher's guide and found the meaning of the articles of association. Then I just thought that other one is that one.
Yeah. So maybe there can be a lot of confusion and not like that. Confusion and right. Okay, the name of the I don't know you mean the unit 5, sorry, the unit 4 tube, the division 1 or the theory 1? Theory 1 again, again?
Yes, sir, Unit 5, Theory 1, Business
Okay.
Organizations.
Okay, fine. We will check what is the confusion there. Unit 5 theory. Good to have a conversation like this so we can identify okay what are the butter that even I might have here and there. 12 notes. Unit 5 on 5 unit 4. Business organizations. So these things come under companies name. Do you have any specific page numbers, Namin? Not page number, any specific occasion where did you find this word?
Shall I forward it through WhatsApp?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
The setting is
It's loading.
is it like under the certificate of incorporation? I can't check my WhatsApp. I don't know why my
Documents for the incorporation of companies.
yeah, document for the incorporation document. So I don't know why I can't check my WhatsApp apping WhatsApp click right. So documents needed for the incorporation. Okay. So I thought body confusion right. So we are here in your syllabus. We are talking about the articles of association only. Memorandums can so this memorandum part is so this question could be an extracted one from a different area. So it's kind of what you call. Articles of association articles of association states about the rights and responsibilities that the shareholders and management, those people have. Right? The statement which declares the name of the company which is different to the name of the existing company. Let us say right. Economy. So it is not memorandum of association. Like I know I got the confusion. Where did you get confused? Maybe not. May part this is the document which includes the company objectives, rights and obligations of the shareholders, information on management and blah blah blah. There may have articles of association. And then there is the statement which declares the name of the company is different to the existing company. Zen Private Limited කියලා. We'll take company name Zen Private Limited. Right? Zen Private Limited කියන නමෙන් තව company එකක් නැහැ කියලා කියනවා. Right? There is no other Zen Private Limited companies in Sri Lanka. But it only the only Zen Private Limited company that is there is us. අපි විතරයි Zen Private Limited companies කියලා කියන්නේ. අපෙන් තොර වෙන කවුරුත් නැහැ. Right? අපිට තමයි නම right? We own the name, right? We are the one who we are owning the name of this particular Zen Private Limited. And the statement which declares the name of the company is different to the name of an existing company, right? Name verification, right? It becomes a name verification. That's all. It's not MOA. Hari. Okay, bye. Things happen. So then we'll take the definition for this. Right? We'll take the explanations for this. What is this articles of No. It's not waste of time. We learn, right? Even you learn, we learn, right? That's the learning curve, right? Sometimes සමහර දේවල් තියෙනවා මම කොච්චර ඉගෙන ගත්තත් මටත් අමතක වෙන දේවල් තියෙනවා, right? So with work, right? Even I might can forget things. So it's a good learning curve, right? To keep learning. After problem. All right. It defines the external relationship with other parties and then තව උතන ලියා ගන්න පුළුවන් other parties, their objectives, etc. Right? Objectives, etc. And capital objectives, capital structure, etc. ඒක දාගන්න. There is articles of association. Articles of association mentions it includes the rights and responsibilities, rules and regulations of the shareholders of the company. So those are the things which is included in the MOA and the AOA. ආයෙත් තියෙනවා MOU, memorandum of understanding කියලා එකකුත් තියෙනවා, right? memorandum of understanding කියලා එකකුත් වෙනවා, right? අපි කියනවා MOU එකක් sign කරනවා කියලා කියනවා, right? We sign an MOU කියලා එකක් කියනවා, like so that is that's a separate. All right. Then we'll go with the next question. Define the concept of privatization in relation to public sector business. Now, this privatization question might come to your A level as well. It came one time, right? It did come one time. The privatization ගැන අහන්නේ අර සාමාන්‍යයෙන් සිංහලෙන් කියන රාජ්‍ය ආයතන පෞද්ගලිකකරණය කිරීම කියලා පොඩ්ඩක් යනවා නිවස් වල. රාජ්‍ය ආයතන පෞද්ගලිකකරණය කිරීමට යනවා. අනේම සිටින කියන්නේ අනෝය ගැන ඔය ගැන පොඩ්ඩක් අහන්න, right? What happens now, right? What is this concept of privatization? What is happening here? Okay. So we'll write here what is privatization. Transfer the publicly owned means of production to private owned or means of operation. Okay. Yeah. The transfer of publicly owned or publicly operated businesses in terms of production to private owned operation. Okay, yeah, that is also fine. I just give a small description as well. Can copy down this as well. The transferring of ownership, control, and the management of government-owned businesses into the private sector is known as privatization of public sector businesses. Right? We had this in economics, right? Economic thing, right? Economic that definition is also okay, right? That definition is also okay. Others namai government taking karanga, මෙච්චරකල් government taking karanga business එක then අපි private sector එකට දීලා තියෙනවා. So that is the only thing, right? We give the ownership, we give the control and everything to the private sector. That is what we call privatization of what you call public sector businesses. So yeah, the answer is fine. The government relies on taxation for its revenue, explained to direct taxes and to indirect taxes levied by the government. So we have to kind of give an explanation for this taxation, right? So we have to first define what are direct taxes. We have to define what are indirect taxes. Direct tax, indirect tax කියන එක define කරලා mention කරන්න direct tax එකයි indirect tax එක. ඒවා මොනවාවෙන්ද charge කරන්නේ, right? So we will take direct taxes from income tax and Income tax is charged on what? Income tax is charged on the personal income or the company income. So tax is charged on that. Or then another direct tax is capital gain. The capital gain is charged on this particular thing here. Capital gain tax what I described. And then indirect taxes, indirect taxes is something which can be transferred to the third party. What are the examples? Like excise duties. So excise duties can be transferred to other parties. There is VAT. VAT can be transferred to other parties, right? Charged on goods and services, which can be transferred to other parties. On the home, what is description? Yeah, VAT, right? VAT it is charged on the value of goods and services. This is a indirect tax which can be transferred to a third party. And I have sentence saying telecommunication levy. Telecommunication levy is charged on this telecommunication services which can be transferred to third parties. Income tax වලට capital gain tax වෙන්න පුළුවන්, advance income tax වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඔය ටික mention කරලා කාගෙන්ද tax charge කරන්නේ, කොහොමද charge කරන්නේ කියලා කියවනම් එය. Right. The standard institution promotes quality state to services provided by standard institute to local businesses. The standard institutes, they are providing lab facilities, right? They provide lab facilities and all. That is one. And then they are providing this training and education, right? SLSI will be providing training and education for businesses regarding quality, right? Quality of training and education, lab facilities, right? So those are the things that you can write under this. So the answer is third lesson. State the two rights of a consumer as declared by the Consumer Affairs Authority. Two rights of a consumer. Nothing rights. Right to be safe, right to be heard, right? So those are some rights of the consumer, right? Right to be safe, right to be heard, and those things. Right to live a healthy life, yeah. Those things are okay. Right to live in a healthy environment, right? So those are also fine. Right to consume education, yeah, that is also okay. Right. Then we quickly will go on to the question number 3 and 4, right? When it comes to question number 3. Differentiate between an entrepreneur and a manager based on the primary motive and their attitude towards you. Now, when it comes to entrepreneur and a manager, right? Entrepreneur is, right? What is it? They are what you call motive, right? When it comes to the motive of an entrepreneur, their kind of motive is for creative, right? Entrepreneur can creative way, right? He is trying to create. That is their motive. But when it comes to manager, he is not there to create anything or he is there to earn salary, right? He is there for the salary, right? His main aim is whether he can get succeed in his career, right? Yari career ke yar succeed වෙන්න පුළුවන් ද කියලා තමයි කවුද? මේ කවුද? entrepreneur manager බලන්න career එකේ successful වෙන්න පුළුවන්. manager බලන්නේ manager බලන්නේ career එක success කරගන්න පුළුවන් ද කියලා. entrepreneur කෙනෙක් බලන්නේ එයාට අලුතෙන් innovative product එකක් market එකට දාන්න පුළුවන්. Can I solve the problem in the market? That is what entrepreneur is. Entrepreneur is very dedicated. Entrepreneur is very dedicated, but he is willing to take risk. But manager is trying to avoid risk and is comparatively less dedicated. Managing. Okay. So, on loving to take risk, and entrepreneur is willing to take risk, but manager is trying to avoid risk. So, those are among the major differences between this entrepreneur and the manager. So, ඒවා ලියන්න type math දාන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. So, very simple ones, those things are. State to psychological traits of a successful entrepreneur. Now, a successful entrepreneur, what does he have? Psychological, right? එයාගේ මොලේ මොනවා කියද? මිනිහා පට්ට confidence, right? His පට්ට confidence is thinking, okay, I can handle everything, right? A successful entrepreneur is like, I can handle everything. ඒ situation එක තමයි එයායි. He is always ready to take risk. Like they are risk ගන්න කැමති ඕන වෙලාව. So those are some psychological characteristics that we can see in an entrepreneur. Number 2, distinguish between money market and capital market. We did this yesterday, ne? Then make उत्तर दो නැත්තම් මසල හමාර. Money market is there for what? Money market is there for short-term fund requirements. Money market is there for short-term investments. Capital market is there for long-term investments and all. From the money market, right? You can get from the money market. You can get what you call funds, right? You can get funds from the money market for short-term period. You can get funds from the capital market for long-term period. A mention करना money market एक examples देखो कोई capital market एक examples देखो इधर. For money market, you can have treasury bills and then commercial papers. And when it comes to capital markets, you can go with debentures, share issues. Anointing mention कराना तो मैं वो game up नहीं हो. Define the insurance principle contribution. अयो तावल ऐसी प्रश्न है, right? Contribution. Insurance principles balagana insurance principles let's go through all the 6 insurance principles. In the third question they might ask you to explain this insurance principle. Right? Insurance principles are explained. So what is contribution? Contribution is when the property is insured with multiple insurance companies. This insurance principle is there to make sure that you get compensated based on a specific ratio, right? Or a specific ratio again tamai compensation hambeni. Ek insure karante menna contribution kina principle, right? You will not get money more than the amount that you have insured. You will get money only up to the amount that you have. Sorry, you will get compensation only the amount that you have insured, but it also ensures that you will get compensated according to the ratio from the different companies. Insurance companies pahaka, right? Insurance companies pahaka or insurance companies but insurance companies pahe or ratio ekata adala gana vitara company la insure karana principle ek thamai api kiyanne contribution principle එක. And unlike general insurance, life insurance is said to have a dual purpose. Briefly explain this purpose. What is the dual purpose of a life insurance? This is completely different from general insurance, right? Life insurance is completely different from general insurance. The life insurance does have dual purposes. What is that? What are dual purposes? They can lead to the What is the dual purpose of life insurance? One is they act as a they act as a savings. They act as an investment. Like life insurance is acting as an investment. Okay, come. So nothing. So they act as an investment. Like if after the maturity, if you are living, right after the maturity, if you are living, you will get back the total investment along with the interest rates and all. Right after you live, right, if you are living more than the if you are living more than the maturity period, you will get back all your money along with the interest rate as well. So that is why we call it is acting as a investment as well. So for this, we will explain. Right, the explanation at the if the insured of the policy survives, they will receive the amount that they invested along with the additional interest income. That is acting as an investment. Then it is acting as a protection. They act as a protection. Market accident that market ledak kaduna. You got the compensation that come. Right? They act as investment plus they act as a protection as well. So we can go through like this. It provides financial compensation to the dependents and the insured if there is any risk associated with the insured. It provides financial compensation to the dependents. And the insured if there is any risk associated with the insured. So that is the definition for the Did you differentiate finance lease and operating lease? Can I see that answer if you have differentiated? Finance lease operating lease differentiate answer So finance lease and operating lease, it's very easy. Yeah. The finance lease operating lease in what the lease is, I'll explain what is finance and operating. Finance lease කියලා කියන්නේ මම වාහනයක් lease එකට ගන්නවා වගේ වැඩ. I need a vehicle, I need a car. What do I do? So finance lease, I am taking this asset. එතකොට අපි කියමු මේක අවුරුදු 5කට ගන්න කියලා අවුරුදු 5ක lease එකක් කියලා. After 5 years, I am capable of owning the car. يعني මම car එකේ අයිතිය මට convert වෙන අවුරුදු 5කට පස්සේ. Right? I can keep the car after 5 years. After I do the payments, I can keep the car. No problem. During the lease agreement period, I am the one who has to maintain the car as well. කායක maintain කරන්න ඕනේ මම. කායක ownership එක මට හම්බ වෙනවා. I have to just pay installments, that's all. That is finance lease. But when it comes to operating lease, it's not the case. Operating lease is most probably short term. Operating lease is for like 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, like short term. Where after the maturity of the agreement, I don't own the vehicle. I don't have the ownership for the vehicle. Now, මාස දෙකක් පාවිච්චි කරලා ආයේ වාහනේ යවන්න. Right? Maintenance of the vehicle is conducted by the insurance company, not me. මම වාහනේ අරන් පාවිච්චි කරාට මම වාහනේට ඔළුවේ පිටන් හිටියා. ඉන්ෂුරන්ස් කම්පැනි එකෙන් තමයි මොකද වාහනේ මේන්ටේන් කරන්නේ. මම නෙමෙයි මේන්ටේන් කරන්නේ. That is what you call an operating lease. Right? Most probably operating lease are short term in nature. I don't own the vehicle after maturity. Most of the time, the insurance company is the one who is maintaining the asset as well. So that is the difference between finance lease and the operating lease. So I'll give you an answer here. So we'll write down what finance lease and operating lease are. Finance lease. A long-term, non-cancelable agreement that the lessee bears all the maintenance costs and usually takes legal ownership of the asset at the end of the term. Okay. Then there is after finance lease, there is operating lease. So when it comes to operating lease, what happens? We'll see what is happening after the operating leases. It's a short-term cancelable agreement where the lessor maintains the asset, responsibilities and the ownership of the asset after the use. Very good. It's a short-term cancelable agreement where the lessor maintains the asset, responsibilities and the ownership of the asset. Right? Right? So that is the difference between the agreement. That is the difference between a finance lease and an operating lease. Medical lease right? Medical lease for this, you have to come up with an example as well. Your example is finance lease can make it, operating lease can make it. Finance lease or what example like if you are leasing a vehicle, you can lease it for 5 years. At the end of the 5 years, you are capable of owning the vehicle. But when it comes to operating lease, you lease it for 6 months. After the work is done, they have to set back the vehicle. That is operating lease. Example mention so then you will get a full marks. Okay, well, local expectation size expectation so that's why I am telling, write an example as well so that the person who is checking your paper is satisfied. Yeah, definition තේරුම් අරගෙන ලියද්දී මෙයාට එක්සැම්පල්ස් උනත් හිතලා දාන්න පුළුවන් කියලා පෙන්නන එක තමයි උතන. Okay. And then fifth one, commercial bank performs various functions for their clients. State to agency function of a commercial bank. What is the commercial bank? What are the agency functions of commercial banks? One is standing order facilities. Right? One of the agency function of commercial bank is the standing order. Okay. and then standing order facilities, and then safety locker, safety locker facilities. So those are some what you call agency functions that the commercial bank does to its shareholders or the clients, shareholders clients. International trade heavily relies on insurance. Mentioned two types of marine insurance policies, right? So here, one of the marine insurance policies, do you know? Can you remember? You go through insurance. Hull insurance and one more. Cargo insurance, right? Hull insurance and cargo insurance. Those are the two main insurance policies that we are discussing, right? Hull insurance and cargo insurance. Fine. So that is question number 3. Then we'll go for question number 4, right? Define the term communication in context of a business. What is communication in terms of business? Communication is the process of exchanging ideas and information between sender and receiver in order to make business related decisions. Right? You are exchanging information between sender and the receiver in order to make business related decisions. That is what we call as communication in context of business. Simple. State to disadvantages or limitations of relying purely on oral communication for official matters of the business. Business oral communication විතරක් use කරන්නේ හොඳද? නෑ, why? It is not good because you don't have proof. Boss කියනවා වාට හෙට නිවාඩු ගන්න කියලා. වාට නිවාඩු ගන්න. boss ආන අයි බාහිර නැත් එක. වාට එක දෙන්න එපා. Oh proof. So you need to when it comes to official things, you need to have proof, right? Evidence here. There can be language problems. Yeah. Language problems. When the language problems කියන එක oral communication වලට
when exchanging information with parties who are verbally weak.
Okay, yeah. That part you can take. මෙතන ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මේ focus කරන්නේ right question එකේ උදාහරණ focus කරන්නේ orally විතරක් right when you are purely based on oral communication in business related things, what kind of problem that comes from? එකක් evidence නෑ අනිත් එක තමයි වාගේ අනිත් parties ලට language barrier එක නිසා තේරෙන්නේ නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Yes, those things are there. And then another one is unable to share highly complex data to other parties. And if you want to share complex things, verbally communicate කරලා විතරක් මත්. So ලියලා පෙන්නන්නත් නැහැ. ඒක written communication වලට යනවා. So yeah, so those things you can write. And distinguish between tariff and non-tariff barriers in international trade. Tariff barriers and non-tariff barriers. මොනවද තියෙන්නේ tariff and non-tariff barriers? Now tariff barriers are it's a direct financial tax name. Tariff barrier is a direct financial tax. But non-tariff barrier is a what? Limitation, right? It's a restriction than a tax, right? Non-tax barrier එකක් කියන්නේ restriction එක. වාට ගෙන්නන්න බෑ තහන. වාට ගෙන්නන්න බලන් කැලි පහක් විතරයි. ඒවා restriction එකක් තියෙනවා. So that is a non-tariff barrier. Or else, we'll write that for tariff barriers and non-tariff barriers. It's a financial tax which is charged by the government on the particular imported item. No, the tariff. Yeah, right. Okay, my item tax that is a tariff barrier. And there is non-tariff barrier, you can say it as it is a restriction that is imposed on a particular good or service that is imported. It is a restriction that is imposed on a particular good or service. Again, import code right? Again, write an example here. Custom duty. And custom duty is a tariff barrier. But non-tariff barriers you are IAP or code, right? Import code ID is a non-tariff barrier, right? Import code is non-tariff barrier. What import කරන්න පුළුවන් අවුරුද්දටම කිලෝමීටරයි. අවුරුද්දට මෙතරයි කියලා අන්න ඒවට ගණන් කියනවා. එකපාර වායනකොට ආකාරයක් නැත්නම් ඒක අයිතක්. අන්න ඒ වගේ මොකක් හරි limitation එකක් තියෙනවා and that is called as a non-tariff barrier. Give two practical examples of non-tariff barriers as the government might use to restrict imports. Now, two practical examples of non-tariff barriers the government might use to restrict. Then we example right? Practical examples, right? But I'll give another example as well for non-tariff barriers. We'll take imposing quota on quantity import. Imposing a quota on the quantity import. That is one. Another one is you can go with imposing bans. Right? Ban එකක් දාන්න පුළුවන්. Right? මේ දේවල් import කරන්න බෑ කියලා ban එකක් දාන්න. So those are some non-tariff barriers that you might have. ලංකාවට වාහන ගෙන්නන්න බෑ කියලා ban එකක් දාන්න. So that is falling under that. Non-tariff barrier. HS code එක අනුව මේ දේවල් වාහන import කරන්න ban. Explain the purpose of a letter of credit in the import-export process. Why do we need letter of credit? By the way, did you try the management paper?
I'm studying these days. I thought to study all the lesson and do the paper like on Tuesday.
Okay.
Then I can do it alone without looking.
सामान्य डेटा करा सामान्य वेल मैनेजमेंट तरीके इतना बुलवा को मगे क्वेश्चन सामान्य ताव है ना सर तमारी so the thing is මේ පාර A level එකට තමයි මම දෙන්න පුළුවන් වැඩිම efforts එකක් දීලා තියෙන්නේ තමයිගේ වත්තේ. ඒ කියන්නේ last year all right during the last year and all they කාටවත් මොනවාද ඔය මම ඔයාලට දෙන short note pack තිබ්බේ අර revision class එක LMS එකේ ඇති right revision pack කියලා එකක් තියෙන්නේ ඔය revision class එකේ revision pack දුන්නෙත් නෑ model paper දුන්නෙත් නෑ all මේ වගේ rapid revision කරෙත් නෑ all we did was past papers ටික summarize කරලා discuss කරා and theory note එක පොඩි revision time වගේ කරලා theory note එක උත්තරයි ඊපාරවල and then the trial papers we did that's all this time I am kind of putting much efforts to the students Balamo at least I am trying to like I have around 20 students to the 26 batch ඒ 20න් at least 5 දෙනෙක්වත් ඒ දාගන්න පුළුවන් ඒකත් දාගන්න පුළුවන් නම් I have to at least 25% of the class is A. So I'm targeting on that. So that's why I'm putting my fullest effort so that I could later on, maybe on the next year, when your results comes, I could use this as a promotional tool. We'll see.
Excuse me, sir. If we focus fully on the management lessons from lesson 12 to lesson 15, do we have how many lessons do we have? 12 to in the grade 13 syllabus? We are currently doing the financial management, so do we have another lesson?
We have 18 lessons total. All 18 lessons, that means then 15 and 15 can pass 16, 17, 18, 1003. හැබැයි ඒකේ වාට අතරින්න පුළුවන් 17 17 එකයි 18 එකයි අතරින්න පුළුවන් අවුලක් නැහැ 17 එකයි 18 එකයි අතරින්න පුළුවන් it's not a big deal the last question like පාර පේපර් එකේ 8 වෙනි question එකට එන එක පොඩ්ඩක් අතරියන කමක් නැහැ I am not recommending you to do if you are not doing IT right IT කරන ළමයෙක් නෙමෙයි නම් මම 8th question එක කරන්න කියලා මෙච්චර recommend කරන්නේ මොකද ඒකේ පොඩ්ඩක් IT පැත්තට බරයි මේ question එක so you can kind of skip that part as well so if you are fully focusing on right if you are fully focusing on unit 12 13 14 and 16 right 12 13 14 15 and 16 focus කරාම කියන්නේ management finance operations management marketing finance and HR ඔය පහ focus කරාම ඔයාට පුළුවන් question number 6 එකයි 7 එකයි හොඳටම කරන්න right 6 එකයි 7 එකයි හොඳටම කරන්න පුළුවන් ඒ දෙක හොඳට කරා කියන්නේ එතන ඔයාට ලකුණු 100 part 2 එකේ 100යි නේ 100න් ලකුණු 40ක් ස්කෝර් කරගන්න පුළුවන් 40 marks you can score there by just studying grade 12 lessons so not 12 grade 13 lessons එතන දෙකක් කරා and then it was the first lesson again first එකේ තියෙන grade 12 නේ ඒ grade 12 එකේ ලේසි පාඩම් ටිකක් තෝරගත්තා නම් හරි first එක කරන්න පුළුවන් first is easy first question is easy දැන් වෙලා යන first question එක කරන්න but first one is easy and ඔය මොනවාද මේ business organizations වලට question එකක් එනවා ඒක ලේසි සාමාන්‍ය fourth question එක right first question fourth question and fifth question right first question fourth question fifth question those are kind of easy so ඒ ටික පොඩ්ඩක් focus කරාම match එකක් ගහගන්න පුළුවන් sometimes first question එක කරේ නැතත් කමක් නැහැ මොකද sometimes case study එක පොඩ්ඩක් කචල් වෙන්න ඉඩ තියෙනවා right case study එන නිසා ගොඩක් වෙලාවට කචල් වෙන්නේ නැහැ අර story එකේ තියෙන එකමයි අනිත් පැත්තට බලන්න ලියන්න තියෙන්නේ you can easily score marks based on those case study ones only thing that you will go blank is when you kind of have this case study වල explain question mark එකක් આવුත් නම් පොඩ්ඩක් හරි මේ කචල් එකක් තියෙන්නේ if not it's very easy right So explain the purpose of letter of credit in the import-export procedure. Okay. So now, letter of credit is a promise or an assurance, right? Letter of credit is acting as a promise or an assurance that the that the exporter will get the money, right? It's an assurance given by the importer through his importer's bank. Right? Letter of credit is a assurance given by the importer's bank that the importer will pay to the exporter. Exporter bank බඩු එවන්න බයෙන්ට එපා සල්ලි හම්බෙයි. ඒක දෙන assurance එකක් තමයි letter of credit එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ. Right? So we'll write a small definition for what it is. So then we are fine with that. The importer's bank issues an LC guaranteeing that the exporter's bank that the full payment will be made once the exporter presents the proof of shipment. Guaranteeing to the remain to the right. So this is the case. You can write down this definition for your there is your definition for an LC. Then we'll go to the last 3-4 questions. Wholesalers are key intermediaries, take two functions of a wholesaler that performs specifically benefit the manufacturer. Manufacturer because of a wholesaler. One is manufacturer can fully focus on production rather than focusing on distribution of products. Right? If you have a good wholesaler, the manufacturer will focus on the production only. Why? The distribution of goods and the distribution of the products are now undertaken by the wholesaler. That's a benefit for you. If automate delivery lorry and balawala, manufacturing more in it. So that is one benefit. And then sometimes the manufacturer is facing financial issues, the wholesaler is able to assist him with finance as well. Right? The wholesaler will be giving some financial aids to the manufacturer. So those are some benefits that you can have. And we'll take the next question. Different transportation modes have unique characteristics. Explain to advantages and to disadvantages of using pipeline transportation. This is the question that you asked me. What the hell is pipeline?
Excuse me, sir. We learned this when we were in grade 7. We had commerce those days. I could remember this. I just asked whether there is a correct definition.
Okay, pipeline කියලා කියන්නේ මහා ලොකු දෙයක් නෙවෙයි. grade 7 වල commerce කොහෙද ඉගෙන ගත්තේ?
I went to Leeds International School, no sir. So we had a subject called commerce those days. From grade 8 we had.
Grade 8. So is it London syllabus? No, right?
Sorry, sir. I didn't get you.
Is it London syllabus or local?
Yes, sir. London syllabus. I did my O-levels also in London syllabus. I did from the commerce stream.
Right. So that's it. So yeah, pipeline is where we use it to transfer transport oils and all. හැබැයි ලංකාවේ මම දන්නා හැටියට මේ pipeline technologies කියන එක ලොකුවට නෑ. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මේ browsers වලින් තමයි අපේ යන්නේ. For example, in foreign countries, most of them use this pipeline transportation where they have a like අපේ ගෙවල් වල tap line එක දිනා වගේ pipeline එකක් තමයි පිටරට වල තියෙන්නේ ගෙදරට gas එක. ඒ gas cylinders නෙමෙයි gas line එකක් තියෙන pipeline ඕකෙන් තමයි යහන්නේ. Now, so what is the advantage and disadvantage of having this pipeline transportation? That's what we are going to look into. So we'll go with advantages. So මේවගේ අහලා නැති පුරුදු නැති topics වලින් එහෙම questions එන්න පුළුවන් right අහලා නැති පුරුදු නැති topics වලින් questions එන්න පුළුවන් ඒකට understand the question that they ask. So that is a safe method when you are answering. Okay. පොඩි කාලේ දැන් මේක grade 7 වල ලාඩ් 8 වල ලාඩ් කරාවගේ කිව්වේ. අර 8 වල අහලා තිබ්බ දේවල් තියෙනවා pipeline ගියා මෙහෙම එකක් කියලා. අන්න ඒකට ඒකට අදාළ වෙන විදිහට මොකක් හරි answers ටිකක් දැම්මම කමක් නැහැ. නැති වෙන්නේ like sometimes අකුණු ඔක්කොම ලැබෙන එකක් නැහැ. Like you might not get all the marks for this question if you write like that, but you will be able to at least score 1 or 2, right? At least you will be able to score 1 or 2 if you write something. Point wise කිව්වම කීයක් හරි නම් full නැතිනවට වඩා, right? So that is the thing that you have to understand there. So when you are using pipeline methods, one is the transportation of oil is cost effective. Right? එකම බටේ දිගේ කී පාරක් තෙල් යවුවත් අර තෙල් යවන්න අපිට ලොකු cost එකක් ගන්නෑ. නෑ. So that is the advantage that we have. Right? There won't be it is environment friendly since there won't be traffic congestions and air pollution compared to road transport. That's a good answer then. Not wrong. Right? What then? This is things like this. May be questions for the textbook answers, right? For these questions, there is no textbook answers. Textbook answers can you can think, you can be creative. That's kind of question is this. So environment friendly, there won't be traffic congestions. So one thing is you can write another one. It is cost effective, right? It is transporting oil is cost effective as well, right? එකම බඩේ දිගේ තෙල් ටික යනවා විතරනේ. ලොකු cost එකක් යන්නේ නැහැ තෙල් ටික යවන්න. It flows automatically, right? Due to the gravity, it flows, right? So ඒ වගේ ලියන්න, right? Transporting of oil is cost effective because it does not involve additional transportation charges. That is advantage. But disadvantages Munal. How about the initial cost? Butter line butter line build කරන්න, right? Butter line දාන්න වගේ දේවල් වලට cost එක, right? So that is the initial cost of implementing is very high. So that is a disadvantage. And repair and maintenance, right? Where butter line entire the pipeline chain will get blockade, right? Block and entire pipeline system. So that is a disadvantage.
So if leakages occur, it can affect the environment badly.
If there is leakage, it can affect the environment, right? If a point can tell leak, right? So those are some disadvantages of pipeline. So this is a very creative question. You can write freely according to your knowledge, but try to transportation method, transportation method, what that? Yeah, that's it. Right? So what you have given, the answer that you have given is perfectly all right. name two member countries of the SAARC trade zone. SAARC in countries. We have Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, right? Those are member countries. Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan. Istan local in SAARC, right? Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, right? Bhutan, right? Nepal, Maldives, right? All these people are there in the SAARC. So again, technically what that. Differentiate between B2B and B2C customer e-commerce model, right? B2B and B2C e-commerce models take a compare and contrast. Now, when you compare and contrast along with an example, you can write B. For B2B model, it is happening between who? The B2B model is between two companies. But when it comes to B2C, it is between the trade transaction, right? Trade transaction is between business and the customer. I'll give you an image to see. It is in a business sales products and services to another business rather than individual customers. Good. B2C, it refers to the business selling products or service directly to individual customers. Clothing store selling close to customers. Excellent. Right? So that is the difference between, right? That is the difference between B2B and B2C market, along with an example. So, yeah. So far you have done very good, right? So far you have done very good. After May say all together papers 5 discuss currently now. First paper is done today. Another 5 papers are there. And apart from those 5 papers, there will be another 2 this one as well. What they call model papers, they will be now management and operation management, right? Sorry, operation management, marketing, by the way, I'm just asking you for the clarification. During this May, June, right? June, I'm give the Kalik exam, right? Other in June, there will be an examination. Not one, there will be 2 examinations. Will you be able to come physically on Monday
Yes,
morning?
sir. Yes, sir. On Monday morning, I can.
Monday morning, 9 o'clock, 1 o'clock, trial paper 2 right? Trial paper 2 100 MCQ question paper 2 එකයි. තියෙන්නේ. දවස් දෙකක තියෙන්නේ. දුක් කළමයි තියෙන්නේ. මුලින්ම 100 MCQ paper එක කරනවා ප්‍රශ්න 100ක්. පැය 4ක් දෙනවා එක. පැය 4ක් දෙනවා කරන්න. So we have to physically be there and do the paper. Then it's easy. And then the next one will be a trial paper. So එකක් පුළුවන් නම් ඇවිල්ලා කරන්න. Monday morning තමයි තියන්නේ. One dates to inform කරන්න. Most probably.
Yes, sir. I even thought of asking because I don't know how to manage the time also when I here, because if it is physical, then I can understand my level, no, after writing.
සාමාන්‍ය ඒ පෙපසික මේ අන්තිමට තියෙන්නේ next month තියෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ at the end of June, like after we finish all these revision lessons, at the end of June there will be most probably 2 other trial days. කරන්න trial papers දෙකක් කරන්න physically එක කරන්න. මේක physically කරලා online class එකේ ඒක discussion එක යන්න තමයි බලන් ඉන්නේ. So මම ඒක finalize කරලා ඒවත් මම කියන්න. Right. So then any questions for the day? No, right? They are good to go. Right. So then we will wind up for the day. Thank you and God bless you. We will meet on another day.